In Chicago, the Democratic National Convention is underway. 4 days will culminate Thursday with Vice President Kamala Harris accepting her party's nomination for president. Tonight, President Biden took the stage with the crowd holding signs and chanting, "We love you, Joe."
Are you ready to vote for freedom? Are you ready to vote for democracy and for America? Let me ask you, are you ready to elect Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, President and Vice President of the United States?
President Biden is passing the torch to his Vice President Kamala Harris.
Golston Dart is anchoring our coverage from Chicago.
Good evening from Chicago, Andrea and Ty. A big, boisterous first day and night here at the convention, with speakers really getting the crowd going, from Hillary Rodham Clinton to Steve Kerr of the Golden State Warriors. It really was something to watch everyone coming together, coalescing around their candidate, Kamala Harris and Tim Walz. And here's Bree Jackson with the highlights of what happened tonight.
President Biden taking the stage at the Democratic National Convention to a hero's welcome. Nearly a month after the 81-year-old ended his own re-election bid, he's passing the torch to his Vice President, Kamala Harris, who addressed the crowd.
Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you.
Biden touting the accomplishments they've made together while laying out a vision for the country's future under her leadership, in contrast to former President Trump.
Donald Trump promised Infrastructure Week every week for 4 years, and he never built a damn thing.
First Lady Dr. Jill Biden among those honoring her husband's legacy.
Joe and I have been together for almost 50 years. And still, there are moments when I fall in love with him all over again.
Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton also speaking on this first night of the convention. After breaking barriers by becoming the first woman to clinch a major party's nomination in 2016, she's now urging voters to help shatter the glass ceiling by electing Harris as the first female president.
Kamala has the character, experience, and vision to lead us forward.
Biden and Clinton, two former Trump opponents, making the case to defeat him in November and send Harris and Walz to the White House. In Chicago, Bree Jackson, NBC News.
The floor here at United Center looked pretty much like a mosh pit. It was completely covered with people, and we fought our way to get up to talk to some of the California delegates and some other delegates, and here's what they had to say. Here, what are you wanting to hear? What are you hearing?
Yeah, so, what I'm hearing thus far is the future and what's to come. I'm looking forward to hearing a lot more about certain policy matters and how we're going to go about winning, and what does a future look like under Harris Walz administration.
For day one, how did it go?
Day one, I think it exceeded my expectations. It's a packed crowd. It was standing room only. I would have never imagined that. It's fantastic.
You can feel the energy in the room from every speaker, from every single person, even people waiting outside. You didn't want to wait outside this long, and people were eager to just be here to listen to the speakers and to get this done.
All right, day one is in the books. Day two coming up tomorrow with some more big names, including former President Barack Obama, who cut his political teeth right here in Chicago. So it should be a huge day two. We'll be following the California delegates throughout the day and get their reaction for you and bring that for you live tomorrow on KCRA News. Reporting from Chicago, I'm Golston Dart, KCRA News.
And we saw California leaders in the audience tonight, including Governor Gavin Newsom, California Attorney General Rob Bonta, Lieutenant Governor Eleni Kounalakis, and Secretary of State Shirley Weber. And earlier tonight, California Senator Laphonza Butler spoke to the crowd. She talked about her experience working with Harris.
Every time she walked into a courtroom, she would simply say, Kamala Harris for the people. For her, it wasn't just a professional oath. It was a battle cry. And let's be clear, to her opponents, this way of seeing the world, the idea of fighting for someone other than yourself is unthinkable.
We will hear from Governor Newsom at the DNC tomorrow. He'll speak from the floor while delivering the final delegate votes needed to make Kamala Harris